Welcome back to Sikho German, Lektion 5, and we're going to learn something really important that will help you read and speak German correctly. Today's lesson is all about Regeln des Lesens. That means rules of reading. These are pronunciation rules that German follows, and once you learn them, reading German becomes so much easier. Here's the key thing to understand. These rules of reading don't apply to every single German word, but they apply to most of them. And that's what makes German such a beautiful language to learn. Once you know these rules, you can pronounce most words correctly, even if you've never seen them before. This makes it much easier to speak German than many other languages. Before starting the video, if you are new here, hit the subscribe button for the upcoming lectures. Let's start with our first rule. In German, when a word begins with the letter J, it sounds like the English Y. This is different from English. In German, J is always pronounced like Y. For example, Junge, that means boy, and Ja, which means yes. Repeat after me. Junge. Ja. Now let's look at the letter W. When a word begins with W in German, it sounds like the English V. Remember, W is definitely not like the English W sound. In German, W always sounds like V. Here are two examples. Wein, which means wine, and was, which means what. Try saying these with me. Wein. Was. Next, we have the letter V. In German, when a word begins with V, it usually sounds like the English F. So V in German is very different from V in English. Let me show you. Vater, that's father, and Vorname, which means first name. Say it with me. Vater. Vorname.
Now let's talk about sounds at the end of words. This is really important. When you have the letter B at the end of a German word, it sounds like P, not like B. This is called final devoicing. German makes certain sounds softer or different at the end of words. For example, starb, which means died, ends with a B sound, but we pronounce it like starb. And Job, yes, that's the same as in English, ends with P. Repeat, starb. Job. The same rule applies to the letter D. When D is at the end of a word, it sounds like T. So final D becomes T. This is another example of final devoicing. Rad, which means wheel, has a D at the end, but we say T. And Kind, which means child, also ends with T while pronouncing. Listen. Rad. Kind. Here's another one, the letter G. When G is at the end of a word, it sounds like K. Again, the final sound changes from G to K. Krieg, meaning war, has a G at the end, but we pronounce it like K. And Weg, meaning path, also ends with K while pronouncing. Try saying these. Krieg. Weg.
Now we're moving to something different, combination sounds. When you see the letters E-I together, they make the sound I. So, E-I is pronounced like the long I sound. Zwei, which means two, has E-I. And drei, which means three, also has E-I. Repeat after me. Zwei, drei. This one is easy to remember because it's the reverse. When you see I-E, it makes the sound E. Vier, meaning four, has I-E, so it sounds like E. And Liebe, meaning love, has I-E. Say these with me. Vier, Liebe. When you see a umlaut U or EU together, they make the sound oi, like boy or toy in English. This applies to both
a umlaut u and eu. They sound the same, like oi. Läuft, which means runs, has a umlaut u, and Freund, which means friend, has eu. Repeat. Läuft, Freund. Here's an interesting one. When the letter E appears at the end of a word, or second to last, it sounds like the ah sound. Fahren, meaning drive, ends with en, and Straße, meaning street, ends with e. Listen carefully. Fahren, Straße.
Now, let's learn about the CH sound. When you have CH after the vowels A, O, or U, it makes a sound like KH, a harsh sound from the back of your throat. It's kind of like you're trying to clear your throat. Think kh. Doch, which means yes, used differently than ja, has CH after O, so it's like doch with that KH sound. And noch, meaning still, also has CH after O, so it's noch. Try it. Doch, noch. Repeat after me. Really emphasize that KH sound from your throat. Excellent work. You've now learned the most important rules of German reading and pronunciation. These rules will help you pronounce words you've never seen before. The key is practice, practice, practice. The more you read German words aloud using these rules, the more natural it becomes. Soon you'll be pronouncing German correctly without even thinking about it. You now understand the rules of reading. Keep learning with Sikho German. These skills will take your German to the next level. If this lesson helped you, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next lesson. Also, share it with your friends learning German and leave a comment with a German word you found tricky. See you in the next lesson. Bis bald.